Join us on our disaster off-grid test. And yes, it's been an absolute disaster, guys. Do not try going off-grid on a Project Narrowboat with an extremely limited battery supply and no shower. Oh yeah, and don't get stranded for 5 weeks either in the process due to massive flooding that sweeps our area that time of year. We are Chris and Bex. We are the Nomadic Crobot. Welcome back to the channel, everyone. So we're finally on our way back home after all those obstacles. This is us here at an illegal mooring, the landing strip at St. Neots Lock. Yeah, in the last episode it got really dark and we had no other choice but to park it there illegally. The EA will be fuming, especially after helping us out with that big tree. But yeah, we're rebels, aren't we? We are completely out of control at this point, due to excitement from just getting the boat out. What started off as an off-grid living experiment has turned into being stranded for 5 weeks in rising floodwaters. We're now 2 hours from home if we don't hit any more obstacles. Our batteries are desperate for a recharge, so stick with us as we navigate these waters, avoid any other disasters, and hopefully make it back in one piece. Are we finally gonna get to plug the Whistling Wombat back into the shore power? What do you reckon, guys? So let's take you guys back a couple of days when we were stuck at that mooring spot with the tree, and Bex actually managed to get back to our Marina and film a few bits and show you guys what we're up against when we bring the boat in later in the episode. Over here is the lock on the right, and we're going to have to come down here and try to get in there with all that river flow coming from the weir. One word comes to mind. Bex! Yeah, I think she's going to be the perfect candidate to try and get it in there for me. What do you reckon? But before then, we've got to cart the narrowboat through dangerous waters here in St. Neots. Yes, there is lots of foliage and treeage going on. The river here is absolutely wild.
Here's some of the obstructions that we're dealing with, not just the heron, but the massive from the bank and has lodged itself there.
In all honesty, we haven't seen much destruction from the floods. We thought we'd be coming back and there'd be loads, but that's probably the first one. Oh, and the tree that got in our way.
That enormous tree.
We are setting sail for our last little stretch heading back to the Marina. We're not far away at all, but the light got us last night, so we had to illegally moor on a landing strip again. We're getting well cocky with that. We just moor wherever the hell we like. But yeah, the conditions are nice. It's a little bit chilly this morning, but it's a lovely crispy day, and the water's nice and calm. She's flowing gracefully through the river. Should hopefully make for some nice sailing.
I've always wanted to try sort of in the mornings, and it's about 8:30 now, isn't it? Or is it 9ish? So it's as early as it gets for us. We're normally up at 11.
Lies. I was up at just after 6 this morning. We both were awoken by like a loud bang. Like, we don't know what it was. We think it might... Our running theory is that it was a bird getting jiggy on the roof or something. But yeah, so each of us sort of woke up going, what the hell was that kind of thing? So yeah, we've been up since the crack of dawn, really.
Driving. We're in a safe environment here, nothing can go wrong. Nice and open. So as most of you are aware of, this was an off-grid test. The narrowboat, the Whistling Wombat, is far from ready for off-gridding, but we were just getting sick of DIYing for the last 3 years, and we thought, you know what, let's see how far we can take the narrowboat on the setup that it has. And the answer to that is obviously not very far. It's been really, really fun, guys, but getting stranded for 5 weeks, the narrowboat was really pushed to as far as you could probably take it, especially with that terrible battery bank that we've got on there. I mean, we are in desperate need to plug the narrowboat into the shore power now. The narrowboat ran out of juice on multiple occasions, and Becca saved it on multiple occasions too. It's going to be a huge relief to finally plug the Whistling Wombat back in.
Another bit of tree devastation happened here, taking down the fence by the looks of it as well.
The plan last night was to try and get one of these moorings here on the left and maybe grab ourselves a cheeky Weatherspoons, but then it got really, really dark and we saw that stop naughtily and stay on the landing strip. But by the looks of it, we wouldn't have got a spot here anyway. It's completely chock-a-blocked.
You probably wouldn't have been able to see that there were boats on it because it was so dark.
Always on the phone.
Sending my nephew a birthday message.
Lovely last little cruise of the year. That's what I've put up with the whole journey.
I'm never on my phone.
I'm trying to absorb all the nature. Unfortunately, Becca's version of nature seems to be Google.
The bit of bank that's been decimated.
Hello, baby. Lovely little mooring spots here with their own little bit of land, something that I would really like to try out one day. Give us a comment down below, guys, if you've got your own little garden area for your narrowboat. Absolutely love it. I'm so jealous. So up ahead is quite possibly the most exciting landing strip that the two of us have ever witnessed. Home landing strip. Well, around the corner from home. We're on home. What are we talking about? Note how I made sure that Bex was driving the narrowboat at this point. She hasn't had a go yet today. Wonder if we can go straight through. This is a good example to show you guys how fast the river is still flowing. Hope Bex is prepared. So we've got the weir on the left up here, so could prove to be the last bit of trickiness for getting into the marina. What do you reckon?
Yeah, you can see there's a bit of flow up ahead, so I'm just going to try and navigate that as best I can. So keep fingers crossed for us.
So Becca's plan here, our plan here, was to try and keep the narrowboat as far to the left as we can before coming up to the lock, because the water and the river flow from the weir on the left is really starting to push us over. There's the weir on the left there, and can you see the lock opening on the right? So what an arrival back to the marina. We had a viewer from the vlog waiting on the little bridge up here, celebrating Crobot's nomadic return. Sorry we didn't catch your name, buddy. We were in a bit of a stressful situation. So the final lock of the journey, and now we've got to try and get the narrowboat back into our really difficult mooring spot at the marina. And I'm going to get the wonderful Becca Crobot to demonstrate it all for you lovely people. There's a very clever Crobot boaty hack that any of you can use. It's absolutely brilliant. You just tell the other person how good they are at something, and yeah, they tend to just do it for you. It's great. The final little bit, sharp turning right, if you remember the first episode of this series of Crobot cruising. It was quite a mission trying to get the boat round this sharp bend again. So here we go again in HD, 3D, 360. Sorry, I'm getting excited, we're home. So first up on Crobot's yearly getting the boat back into the marina, extremely sharp turning right back into the marina, funnily enough. Step 2, use my new special hack that I just taught you a moment ago. This will give said victim confidence that they are doing the right thing for the team. Bex has turned into an expert reversing on the narrowboat. over this series of videos, cruising videos. Sometimes you'll have to use this technique twice to lock it in thoroughly in brain of said poor victim. On this collection of videos of Crobot cruising, Becca has completely mastered
You're bigging me up far too much. I don't think I deserve that.
Nah, sometimes I just don't fall for it. I am obviously completely joking. I do mean every word of it. Bex has been absolutely amazing on this journey, and I've been crap. This collection, in this series of Crobot cruising videos, Bex has completely mastered how to handle the Whistling Wombat. I've demastered it. We are now moments away from hopefully plugging the narrowboat back into the shore power and bringing some energy back onto the old girl. Well, the last little hurdle now into our lovely little easy mooring spot, which we only say is easy because it's easier than it used to be. Still a little bit fiddly. But if you've got a narrowboat and you're at a marina, you'll probably know that it's a lot of squeezing around. Hey, look at the face. Look at the face, guys. That's a proud woman.
A relieved woman, probably more.
And this was the moment we noticed that there was a no entry sign at our marina, causing us to have to go all the way back. Bollocks. It's for you lot. We're posh, remember, so that's why we were allowed in. 6 weeks of hell. Bex is driving. I thought it would be a good idea to just let her take over just as we come in. So it looks good when she comes in, don't it, for all you guys?
What a load of rubbish.
Come to our safe little mooring spot at the marina. Back to where we belong, in a marina setting. We're not equipped for off-gridding, are we? So again, we're going to have to put the nose of the narrowboat to the left here and swing the back of the narrowboat round. Let me get off. Let me get off on the landing strip. Let me get off on my bit. Bring me onto the landing strip. Bring me to my safety, Bex. Just concentrating. So what we are going to do now is just go forward a bit and reverse the narrowboat back into the spot. Showing off now, any excuse to reverse the boat in. Extremely tight here, guys, but the queen of the Anglian network has got it well under control. Made it back in one piece, finally, guys. It's good, feels nice. Beautiful little shoreline come back to us. Oh, how we've missed you, thou beautiful shoreline.
I've missed you too. Weirdo.
Whole vlog on how we plug it back in. Come to us, beautiful shoreline. In it goes. Who needs off-grid when you got shoreline, hey? Beautiful, lovely shoreline. What's the point?